Today on Forbes, this Italian entrepreneur became a billionaire investing in India. Up next, space and AI. On a sunny spring afternoon in Monaco, Filippo Ghirelli strikes a cheerful tone as he turns his laptop around to show off a view of the Mediterranean from his office window. Speaking on a video call, he says, quote, "I've been living here for more than 5 years. It's a great base." He then rattles off a list of cities: London, New York, Dubai, he often travels to for business. 3 months later, he speaks with Forbes again, this time from London. He says, quote, "After graduating from college in Rome, I left for Africa." Then he lists off more countries: Guinea, Mali, where he first started working in engineering on infrastructure projects. The 45-year-old Ghirelli has had a peripatetic career. He made a small fortune in real estate in Italy and North Africa in his late 20s and early 30s, then nearly lost it all in Egypt during the Arab Spring. Later, he returned to Italy and reinvented himself, founding a firm that reduced energy costs for large companies. But Ghirelli has India to thank for the lion's share of his estimated $1.5 billion fortune. In January 2023, Ghirelli closed the deal of a lifetime. Using the proceeds from the partial sale of his energy efficiency firm and real estate investments, he picked up a 25% stake in India's second-largest oil refinery, located on the country's western coast, from Singapore-based oil trading giant Trafigura. When Trafigura and Russia's state-owned oil company Rosneft first bought the refinery in 2017, alongside Moscow-based investment firm UCP, the firm was valued at $12.9 billion, including debt. Trafigura financed 85% of its portion with a bank loan, paying the rest in cash. Ghirelli had first expressed interest in buying Trafigura's stake in 2020. The transaction technically closed in 2021, but was delayed by Indian antitrust authorities until 2023, 11 months after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Trafigura had already announced in 2022 its exit from long-term contracts with Russian state-owned entities. Ghirelli says that had no effect on the price or his decision to invest, and public filings from Trafigura said he bought Trafigura's stake for $169 million, a 42% discount to what it paid in 2017. Now, Forbes estimates that stake is worth at least $1.1 billion, net of debt. Besides the refinery, the firm, called Nayara Energy, also owns India's largest privately owned network of gas stations and a deep-water port. As India ramped up imports of cheap Russian oil for its rapidly growing economy and population, Nayara appears to have profited handsomely. It recorded net income of $760 million on $17.6 billion in revenues in its fiscal year ending in March 2025, up 500% and 25%, respectively, since 2022. Nayara is arguably one of India's most coveted assets. Pankaj Srivastava, Senior Vice President of Commodity Markets at energy firm Rystad Energy, says, quote, "Nayara has a very important role. India is a growing country where fuel demand is continuously on the rise. Nayara supplies a significant amount of the country's domestic fuel needs. It's very strategically located." According to a March report in Indian outlet The Morning Context, both Saudi Arabia's state-owned giant Aramco and Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani's conglomerate Reliance were trying to buy Nayara. A Times of India story in June cited another Indian press report that said Rosneft was asking for up to $20 billion. But sale talks reportedly hit a snag in July when the European Union imposed sanctions on Nayara due to Rosneft's involvement. That briefly led to banks halting payments for the firm and Microsoft cutting off access to its cloud service products. Iraq and Saudi Arabia, which had made up 37% of Nayara's oil imports before the sanctions, according to trade intelligence platform Kepler, with the rest coming from Russia, also halted exports. Representatives for Rosneft and UCP didn't respond to requests for comment. A representative for Saudi Aramco declined to comment, and a spokesperson for Reliance Industries told Forbes the firm is, quote, "not in talks to acquire Nayara." If Nayara were to sell for anything close to the figures cited in press reports, or even Forbes' more conservative estimates, Ghirelli would net a more than 500% gain. But whatever happens with Nayara, Ghirelli is looking ahead. He launched a new investment firm in 2024 named InfraCorp, which says it will build everything from spaceports and private airports to orbital data centers and offshore nuclear reactors. For full coverage, check out Giacomo Taghini's piece on forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.